all praise and honor to the most high, true, and living God. We're thankful to the one God who answers by many names. As a student of the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, I'm forever thankful and glad, eternal and grateful for another chance at life, another chance at liberty, another chance to be amongst you, my brothers and my sisters, the sons and daughters of the Black nation, the mother continent of Africa, the men and women of God. I open up as my sister and queens with the Mir Sankofa, giving thanks to our ancestors and giving thanks to those who took lives and gave lives and made an ultimate sacrifice for us to be where we're at today. And I'm thankful for your presence. I represent to you a beautiful, bold, bald-headed black man, 100% black man, unrelenting, uncompromising, unflinching with the enemy, known as the truth terrorist, the black history hitman, the knowledge gangster, the urban gorilla, the lie killer, the revolutionary roughneck, the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Ashe and Black Power. And I also represent to you the attorney at war and the 5-star general, a brother who is the longest standing chairman of any Panther regiment anywhere to be found since it began in Lowndes County, Alabama, since it went up through the help of Mark Comfort to Oakland, California with Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, and since it went up there in Sacramento on till today, we represent to you a man who is the longest Panther chairman of any of those regiments. That's Dr. and Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, and that's Black Power. That's our brother. And so, welcome out to the Louisville meeting of the new Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. And most of us, we know each other. We are family, so let's relax and be at ease, but also let's be on guard for the seriousness of this hour that we're living in. Gotta give you props to the Louisville Chief of Staff, the Mir Sankofa, for a beautiful presentation and for keeping us abreast of this healthcare situation. Now, this is something that really and truthfully, we're putting this on YouTube, so I got to make sure that we get it. I want to make sure that we're staying on target with this healthcare situation, because what's happening is our people are being pimped, we're being robbed, money's being taken from us, but yet our community has the worst healthcare. We have the worst healthcare premiums, the worst situations in terms of our dietary and our mental health care, physical, mental, and spiritual health care, and the evidence shows in the results of our community. The death that's going on, the destruction that's going on, the killing that's going on, the murder that's happening, the rapes, the robberies, all of that is involved with your health care, your and my life, okay? Now, the thing is, many people act very clueless as to what to do here in Louisville, or really what to do in the black community, period. Don't know what to do about the black-on-black violence, the disrespect of our elders, our children, our baby police brutality, disrespect, murder, crime, miseducation, poverty, all of that. Many people act very, very clueless, as if we're just kind of stuck and stagnant and don't know how to address the situation. Well, the new Black Panther Party operates off of a 10-point platform, which I think Amir Sankofa, I think he took it from me on the clipboard, but off of a 10-point platform that talks to the basic needs, thank you, the basic needs of the community, and speaks to us organizing amongst ourselves. Now, out of everything that we have tried, and as a people we have tried darn near everything to make progress. Out of everything that we have tried, the one thing that we have not tried enough of is our unity. We've been disunited, we've been in different little pockets, we've been in different little organizations, we've been over here, over there, but we have not operated as one unit, as one family. And we're facing these situations together as a family, but most of us are not working together to solve the problems. And so with everything that we're doing, protesting and marching and meditation and all the prayers that we're doing, everything that we're doing, for the most part, and all that's good, but the most part, it's been a disunited effort. The new Black Panther Party says that we must have unity, first and foremost. Before we have anything else outside of God himself, which we have to have, you gotta have some unity. You gotta know who your brother and your sister are, and you gotta know what we can do to help to solve this community situation. If we're disunited, we're already beat from the gate. I'm gonna say that again. If we're disunited, we're already beat from the gate, because all that an enemy got to do is come and put one against the other, have us talking about each other, fighting against each other, talking bad against each other, and then we lost before we even get started. So the number one thing that we have to have is unity. And the number one thing that is broken up in our black community is what? Unity. The family unit in our community, disrespected and disrupted and broken apart. Okay? The role of father, the role of mother, disrespected, broken down and broken apart. We're so far gone and so far disunited that, as it seems today, you would think that the civil rights movement, you would think that all the great ancestors that we named, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Imam Wafiuddin Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, you would think they never even came amongst us. If you looked at us in 2012 going into 2013, you would think we never had great men and women to ever come and talk to us. Because the message of these men and women has been lost in translation. We've been given a new interpretation. We've been given a new teaching, something alien to ourselves, and now we're acting other than ourselves. I don't want to lose this. Stay with me. But I'm just trying to say that, follow me on this. Our community is acting other than itself. Okay? When we were in peace, just for an example, in the mother continent of Africa, you didn't hear about homosexuality, did you? No. Talk black to me. Did y'all hear about homosexuality in Africa? No. Somebody tell me. No. Okay. In the mother continent of Africa, did you hear about young black men blowing away their mothers and shooting their mothers with pistols? Did you hear about that? No. Did you hear about that? No. All right. What about police brutality? Did you hear about police brutality? No. So what's the difference? Now remember, they say Africa's supposed to be savage. They say Africa, you was in the jungles, swinging from trees, eating juniper roots and saying ooga booga with a bone in your nose. But what's the difference between Africa and what has been established here in America? If that was the savage place, and that was the place where you supposed to have been swinging from trees and saying ooga booga, how come wasn't no police brutality there? How come wasn't no mass incarceration there? How come you didn't hear about people shooting their mothers and shooting up the whole family in Africa? Okay, why didn't we hear about that? We didn't hear about that because there was a different code of conduct, a different law of the land. Our elders were respected in Africa. Okay, we had council of elders that would talk to the youth. You had manhood training. You had to go through certain qualifications to be a man. You couldn't just, because you had the sexual organ, say you was a man. Just because you had the sexual organ, say you was a woman. We had qualifications as a community that we operated off of that determined whether we were actual men or actual women. We had a community network that when somebody got out of line, somebody got out of place, the community checked them. Now for a while, we had that here in America. But right before you were really made slaves, and we were really made slaves, and Brother Mahdi will tell you, my brother will tell you, my brother will tell you, and some of y'all can tell you, that there's a time that when you would mess up in the community would whoop your behind. Am I lying? You mess up in school, act up in school, by the time that you got home to your mother, got home to your father, the little old lady down the street would have been on whoop your behind. Am I lying? Tell the truth, right? Today, let the little old lady try to touch the baby today. And not only will the mother might fight the little old lady, but the young man and young woman might fight the little old lady. Okay? There's been a change. What I'm saying, there's been a change in culture. Okay? Our people having an original culture that taught the world science, taught the world mathematics, taught the world chemistry. I said chemistry, not chemistry, chemistry. All right? Taught the world law and justice and government, taught the world proper parenting and civilization, taught the world how to be true men and women and have a real government. We did that as a people right there from Africa as a base. But then you had a people from Europe that come in. You had the Europeans that come in and they begin to do what's called pillage the land. How many of y'all have heard the term vandalism before? Let me see your hands. All right, when you hear the term vandalism, what do you think about? Think about spray painting, right? Somebody going up on a wall and spray painting some stuff. But the term vandalism it's a European term that comes from the vandal, where they come in and they pillage and they tear up and they write their insignia, their symbol, their sign on your stuff. Okay, that's where the real vandalism comes from. The real vandal. They came into Africa and began to pillage the land. They began to rob the libraries. They began to rob the monasteries. They began to rob the temples. They began to take the information of our people and use it for themselves. All right, the first known university in the world, right there in Africa. All right, the university called Timbuktu, right there in Africa. Y'all ain't never heard of that. Timbuktu, right now, today, still has conventions, still has things that it does. It's alive and well today. The first known university in the world. It ain't Harvard, it ain't Duke, it ain't none of that. None of that stuff that they promote. It's Timbuktu. Our people were the ones who at that time were so in tune with the divine universal order that we could tell the whole world what was going on. We were in tune with the God. All right? But they came in, robbed you of your knowledge, robbed us of our names, robbed us of our language, our culture, our religion, our folkways, forays, norm, and the power of our own being. And now we call ourselves Johnny Johnson. We call ourselves Mr. Williamsburg, Mrs. Hattie Mae, with lettuce and tomatoes and pickles on the side. So we're calling ourselves after European names now because our names are taken from us. All of us in here, darn near got European names on the end of our names. Don't act like you don't. We got European names, and then when it's time to go to the family reunion, you're not called by no African name, we called by our European name, right? What does that mean for us? That means that at a specific time, black man, you was property. That means at a certain time, I was somebody's property. When somebody names you, like if you get married, sister, you put that name on the end of your name, right? Why? Because you want somebody to know I'm with this man. Right? That's me. Me and him was together. We one family. Well, if a slave master and a slave trader puts a name on the end of you and I, what are they saying to us? We are their property. Am I making sense? Yeah. So if you are the property, I am the property. What was our purpose as property? Why did they bring so many black men and women over here to North America? What was our purpose? It for darn sure wasn't because we were swinging from trees and eating people and eating their flesh. That wasn't why. Why would you get a people like that? Why would you go all the way to Africa and get somebody with a bone in their nose and bring them all the way over here? Just boatloads of people with bones in their nose. Doesn't make sense. That's how you know it's a lie. They brought us over here to help them build this country. The reason why you and my forefathers were brought over here was to build up America. Period. Period. They tried to make slaves out of the Indians, the red man and red woman. Tried to make slaves out of the yellow man and yellow woman. Tried to make slaves even out of some white folks. And guess what? The red man and red woman fought them back. They said they couldn't make slaves out of the Indian, the so-called Indian, the Native American. You know why? Because the Native American had his and her culture. Okay? And when you have your culture makes you fight back. They couldn't make slaves out of the yellow man and yellow woman like they did us. You know why? Tell me why. Why is that? They had their culture. And when you have your culture makes you fight back. Couldn't make slaves out of the white man and white woman because the white man and white woman couldn't hold up in the sun. Okay? It was us who, when we were stripped after 64 years and broken from our original names that gave praise to God, okay? Our original names that honored everything righteous and good. When we were stripped of those names and you begin to take names like Johnson and Williamson and take names like Phillips and take names like whatever the slave master's name was, that's when we begin to be broken. Okay? And so now that we are property in America and we're brought over here to build up America, now we're being driven like cattle, treated like animals. We were called 3/5 of a human being. I want you all to journey back with me and think on this. U.S. law called you and me 3/5 a human being. How do you get 3/5 a human being? Somebody please break that down for me. What is 3/5 of a human being? If it's your birthday and somebody gives you 3/5 of your birthday cake, wouldn't you be upset? Heck yeah, I'd be upset. Give me my whole birthday cake. Alright? They called you 3/5 human being, hit us with black codes, hit us with Jim Crow, hit us with segregation, hit us with miseducation, and then said, now you emancipated. Who in here knows what emancipation means? Somebody tell me that. Anybody know? Let me back up. How many people believe Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves? Anybody believe that?
No.
Was anybody taught that though?
Yeah.
We was all taught Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, right? Did you know that Abraham Lincoln authorized the most lynchings anywhere in American history? Did you know that? Didn't know that. But we all told Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Lord, child, Lord God, oh Lord, thank God for Abraham Lincoln freeing us. If it wasn't for Abraham, we wouldn't have been free. Abraham Lincoln didn't free no slaves. Abraham Lincoln emancipated a slave. The difference is, when you emancipate a slave, that means that you let them go from like physical, like you don't gotta hang on a plantation no more, but you're still a slave. Okay? Emancipation comes from a Latin term, emancipare, which means to let go of my physical control, but still maintain control. Now let me take your mind back to the Willie Lynch letter. Willie Lynch said that he would make the man physically strong, but have him mentally weak. And sisters can bear witness, that's what's happening with the black man today. Physically strong, but our minds is weak as hell. And then he said he would make the black woman to be out front. He put the black woman out front and put her in a position to where she believed she did not need the black man. And you hear that all day today too. Girl, I don't need no man. Hell, I need a man for. I can do anything a man can do. You know you done said it, sister. and to be honest, as it stands now, the sisters have had to step up and do much, if not most, of all of what men have done. But don't be fooled, sister. You do need a black man. Absolutely. And the black man definitely needs his black woman. Okay? We're talking about unity, and we're talking about the family unit. We're talking about the reason why our communities are destroyed. It's because we've lost our culture. We've lost a knowledge of ourselves. We've lost our minds being here in America. Remember, if you're brought here to be a slave, brought here to be property, brought here and treated like cattle, which they did treat us, they used to brand us like cattle. The same way you brand a cow or a horse, they branded us too. Okay? If you're treated like that, over a period of time, you're not going to be the same. The black community is not the same community it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, or 50 years ago. It's a completely different community every generation. It gets worse and worse every generation. Right? It does. Okay? Because we don't have our culture. So the question that we got to ask now as intelligent men in here and women in here, what was our culture? Who were we before we were made slaves? Who were we? What was we doing? What is all this stuff about Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey, talking about Africa for the Africans? And you hear about Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying a nation of Islam, and you hear about us talking about us being in peace and all. What is all this stuff? What is this new Black Panther stuff about for real? So we got to get down to the nitty gritty, because either we own to something or we just totally off base. You know, it's much more than just putting your fist in the air and saying Black Power. Okay, because a lot of people can say Black Power. I done seen white folks put their fists up in the air. Ain't meant a damn thing. Okay, what are we talking about? We're talking about doing some sensible things that breed some sensible results. Okay, black on black violence will not stop just by getting in the closet somewhere and meditating it away. Let the church say amen. Amen. All right? The disrespect of our elders and our babies, you know, the rape that's happening in the community, that's something that's pretty taboo. They don't talk about rape in the black community, but that happens. Most of all of our sisters, brother, have been either molested or raped at some time in their life. This is real. Sometimes by an uncle, sometimes by a family member, a friend, a brother, or maybe even a spouse. Rape is real in the community. But they don't talk about it. We don't talk about it as a movement because that's supposed to be taboo. But it affects us. The black man has found himself emasculated, where his mental image now is a basketball player. Or his mental image is a rapper on TV busting some lyrics, and that's all he sees himself as a rapper or a basketball player. So if he ain't shooting basketball, or if he ain't scribbling down some lyrics and busting some lyrics, he don't feel like he's doing nothing worth of value. The reason why these brothers running around with this penitentiary style and sagging their pants, that come from the rap videos. They see the rap video, they see this image of this brother, all these women in the video, except 90 degrees in the video. He got on a fur coat in the video. He dancing and swaying, got gold teeth and doing his thing. And he has his pants sagging down in the video. So the black man whose family unit has been destroyed, who don't have his culture, and who don't know himself, when he looks at that image, he takes that image as what he's supposed to be like as a man. So he pulls his pants down. And so he, you know how they do. What's up, dog? You know what I mean? Because of what he's seen on the TV. Same thing with the sister. She see a Nicki Minaj on TV, blue contacts in her eyes, blonde head, blue eye, right? Skimpy little outfits, calling herself a B or a hoe. And so what do the sisters do? Well, that's what I am. I'm a B with an attitude. I said, y'all remember that? I don't know if y'all remember that group, B's with attitudes. You had the NWA, the N's with attitudes, and you had the BWA. All because of the TV. So that means that the TV has so much control over us as a community that whatever they put on the TV screen, that's what our people do. Now here we are in 2012. The rap video showing us violence all day long. The movie showing us violence all day long. The radio, you hear violence all day long, or the disrespect to the women. So what are the people going to do? They're going to be violent all day long. They're going to disrespect the women all day long. Right? Right? Because we're doing what the TV say do. And we're going to be all the way messed up all day long. This is not by accident, family. That's what I got to get over to our heads. It's not by an accident that they're playing this stuff on TV 24 hours a day. It's not by accident that we don't hear nothing positive about ourselves. On the TV, in school, anywhere. Black people do not hear positive stuff about themselves. If we listen to the teachers in school, then many of us would just believe that we ain't nothing. But Malcolm X said he wanted to be an attorney. His teacher told him, you know you black, you can't be no attorney. Why don't you be a carpenter or something? You black. It's in school. He's going to school to supposedly learn to do something better for himself. He says, I want to be a lawyer. And the teacher said, you can't be no lawyer. Now, if you all believe that was just 30, 40 years ago, you're crazy. That's happening right now today in public school system, right now today. You send your baby somewhere, your baby and my children, they learn so much about everybody else's stuff that they don't find value in their own stuff because they don't hear it. And we're not telling them at home how great they are. We're not telling them not to call themselves B's and H's, for real. We're not telling them not to look at the image of the Lil Waynes on TV kissing other men on television. We're not telling them the real deal about who they are, and so they're dying out here in America because the way that they're living is a death style. It's not an American lifestyle, it's a death style. Okay? The way America teaches black people to live is a way that will kill us. You can't be all-American in here and live. Because to be all-American in this country means that you would either end up incarcerated, you would end up in somebody's jail, or in the graveyard. That's what it means. Because chasing the quote-unquote American dream for us means that we got to be like them. Uh-oh. And I'm here to tell you, you can't do it just like them. Okay? I'm not saying, now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't have things, don't be successful. I'm not saying don't be an entrepreneur. There's ways to get things and have a heart. But this white man will do it without no heart. Okay? All that stuff that happened with the housing, the red tape, the redlining, all that was because they were ballooning the interest. And they were selling properties to people that they knew would come back and bite them later on. Am I telling the truth, Brother Mahdi? They knew it. But they didn't care because the bottom line was we're making $1. America is about making the dollar. And if I can make $1 off of you, then I don't care what happens to you. That's what slavery was about. Slavery wasn't just about because I seen some black people over there. They wanted to build an empire. It was a business decision. You lost your name, your language, your culture, your religion, your folkwear, your forays, the norms, power of your own being, given an alien culture, an alien God, because it was a business decision. I don't know how you feel about that, but that makes me angry. A business decision to change hip-hop, to take it from the X-Clans and the Public Enemies and the King's Sons, to take it from a righteous course of action coming up out of Run DMC and what they were doing, and coming up out of Rapper's Delight and all of that, the good message that was talking about what's going on in the community, to giving you people like Lil Wayne. I'm not going to just pick on him, but it means plenty of them. Giving you a 2 Chainz who, he ain't talking about a damn thing. I don't know what he's talking about. Somebody tell me what he's talking about. Ain't nobody been able to tell me yet what 2 Chainz talking about. And why do you need 2 Chainz? All right? My point is this. It was a business decision to shift the style of music. It was a business decision to shift the style of entertainment on television, because they knew they captured our imagination and captured our attention, and they knew it would shape the society. Now you say, what kind of people want a society like this? A devil-minded people want a society like this. A people who benefit off your mind suffering, they want a society like this. You don't see all these penitentiaries over there, like I said, in Africa and other civilized areas. We gotta travel. You don't see it like what it's set up in America like. You don't see that. You mess up over there, guess what? You rape a woman over there, guess what? Off with your head. Solve the problem there. What does that do? That stops that next brother or sister from even raping a sister. See, if they can rape somebody, sit up in a jail somewhere for a few years and eat and watch cable and kick back and be live, then when they get out, guess what they do? They do it again. But if that brother knew, man, when I get caught, not only are they gonna put me before all the people out here in the community, in some areas they might stone me and throw all these stones on me and bust my face wide open. Other areas, they gonna just off with your head. You wouldn't be raping those sisters. You wouldn't do that, black man. You wouldn't even think about doing that. The environment will be conducive to our righteousness. America's not conducive to righteousness. In America, anything goes. You can do what you want here, they say. You know, as long as you don't get caught, just do what you want to do. It's all good in America. But who does that benefit? Does that benefit black people, or does it benefit the white man? It benefits them. Because guess what? We the ones that's filling up the jails. I'm gonna say that again. We the ones that's filling up the jails. We filling up the penitentiaries. There's more of us in these jails and penitentiaries than anybody else. And then guess what they do? Once they get you in the jail, then they say we're gonna make you work for free labor. Because the Constitution says that we're gonna abolish slavery. I think it's the 13th Amendment in there that says we will abolish that slavery unless you get incarcerated. So once you and I get locked up, guess what? We're right back into slavery. What happened to Abraham Lincoln? See, y'all follow what I'm saying? The penitentiaries and the jails and the American culture is set up for the destruction of black people. And it's working. It's working. Once you get into the jail, they got you making license plates. Now, All that stuff we buying from Walmart, guess where some of that stuff being manufactured at? Right in the jail. All right, for like cents on the dollar. Okay, and it's a private industry and it's a private corporation. Jails are not, multi-corporational owned. All of us in here can put our monies together and put up a penitentiary. Y'all know that? We can get a building just like this, put some investment together, put some bars up on the window, and build us a jail. Now, once we built the jail, what we gotta have in the jail? We gotta have people in the jail. So that means we don't want crime to stop, do we? We don't want them to stop shooting each other in the black community. We wouldn't want them to stop killing each other, or we wouldn't want them to stop committing crimes. I want y'all to see the game that's being played on us. We wouldn't want to change because we want the jail full. So all this marching and protesting and we shall overcome and all this, we're speaking to deaf ears with them, all right? Because they're interested in the bottom dollar, the bottom line, filling up that jail and filling up whatever they're trying to fill up. That's all they're interested in. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. It's just, I see some of it, we're like, man, it's like that? It's like that. Okay? It's a game. We've been played. We've been pimped. Alright? So we say the same thing with the healthcare situation. It's the same deal. Same thing with even many of us serve going to the military. Same thing now. Where they're saying, if you go to the military, you get all these benefits. But they lying to you. Hell. They lying to you. You go right now on the internet and hear all these soldier stories about all this promise that was made to them and they didn't get none of it. Got into the military and the drill sergeant said, hey, sir, ma'am, you are property now. Whatever we tell you to do, that's what you're going to go do. GI. You a GI. Now, they crying over Sandy Hook in Connecticut, but they ain't crying over all them babies getting bombed in Palestine. All them babies getting bombed in Africa, they ain't crying over none of that. They ain't crying over none of them babies that's being killed in Chicago right now where we're going next week. They say 500 murders in Chicago alone. 500 people dead, ain't never coming back, murdered in Chicago, but ain't nobody shedding no tears. Why? Because it's ingrained in American culture that we ain't nothing but niggas. And if niggas die, who cares? Because you ain't nothing but property anyway. All you are is cattle to America. You a business interest to America. You a business decision. You're here to make us money. If you can't make us no money, get up out of our face. We built the country as a people and have reaped none of the benefits. We inherited the poverty of slavery. Why is our community so poor? Because you didn't get what you were supposed to get once you build a nation. When you build a nation, let's start small. When you build a community, you're supposed to have what first? Land. That's number one. The first thing we're supposed to have in building a nation or a community is land. Our forefathers and foremothers had some land. How many of us got land? I know Brother Mahdi got some. Anybody else got some land? Ain't got no land. See what I'm saying? Ain't got no land. But Mahdi's smart enough to get him some, because he know what time it is. We ain't thinking about getting no land. We thinking about getting a job. Yeah, thinking about getting some civil rights. We ain't about getting no land. The first thing you're supposed to have and to get is some land ownership. That's number one. I asked a woman last week who worked downtown in agriculture, how easy is it to get some land? We said right now, with the way that the economy is right now, cities will throw land at you right now. They'll throw it at you. Cities will give it away. Go on up to an area like Detroit or somewhere and see if you can't get you some land. People are leaving whole cities behind because of the economy. And they're leaving the land behind. Why can't we get some of that land, Brother Mahi? We need to have that. We're not thinking like that. We're not thinking entrepreneurship. We're thinking, let me put in an application to get a job. And them jobs is leaving America by the thousands. You could put in, right now the way it looks, you could put in hundreds of applications and maybe get one call back. Let's say this ain't the 80s and 90s. You put in all kind of applications. but you ain't getting the callbacks. Why? Because they ain't got it like that. The way companies are working today, companies are solidifying their workforce and keeping the workforce where it is. And if they got to make the downgrades, they'll cut you out of it. Am I making sense? They will cut you out of it first and foremost and keep what they got. And you and I still got to eat. We still got to live. We still got to breathe. We still got to feed our families. So it's not going to come by us getting no job. We used to call jobs just over broke. That's what they was. You was just over broke, working paycheck to paycheck, week to week, and if you miss one, you in trouble. That ain't no way to live for the sons and daughters of Africa, the descendants of African slaves. That ain't no way for us to live. It's our mindset, brothers and sisters. Our mindset has put us where we at right now. The reason why we can kill each other in West Louisville, East Louisville, wherever we at, our mindset. Don't y'all fall no damn sleep. Wake your behinds on up. Put some water on your face. We'll be in the club all night long, boogieing and dancing and doing everything we need to do for the club. Get talking about some black stuff, and we get to getting sleepy. That's that mindset. See? That's the mindset. It's not that we bad people. We've been conditioned. It's a conditioning. I want y'all to listen. It's a conditioning. And Brother Telly woke on up. I like you, black man. It's a conditioning. We condition. See, we're not conditioned to sit for periods of time unless there's some music going on. It's a conditioning. Okay? But what are we really getting out of the club for real? Nothing? Nothing? Yeah. What are we getting out of the normal entertainment practices of America? Not much. We got to think seriously. If you read the book, Behold the Pale Horse, it's a white man named William Cooper who said that in his branch of government, they had determined that they would keep the American population so busy that you wouldn't have time to think about serious issues concerning yourself. I'm going to say it again. They had determined they would keep you and me so busy with frivolous things and things that don't really matter. Read the book. That you wouldn't have time to think about fixing your own problems and fixing your own solutions. So what do you hear of us today? Well, I can't come to the meeting, I'm too busy. I can't come down here what the new Black Panther got to say. I'm too busy. Yeah, the U of L playing UK today. I'm too busy. But what do you get out of it? They get a paycheck, they get a scholarship, they get millions of dollars in the NBA. You still at home broke as hell. Trying to pay your light bill, trying to pay the gas bill, trying to keep a roof over your head, and they straight just from dribbling the ball and shooting the ball. Okay? It's a game. It's a game. Our people have been duped, we've been played upon, and it's been happening for generations. Generations of us have been played upon, and it's being passed down to the next generation. These brothers will tell you what I'm saying. It's being passed down every generation. And if we're not careful, we're going to pass it on to our children. And they're going to say, well, what was you in the movement for then? Why did you spend all that time away from me with the new Black Panther Party just to give me the same position that you was in? Think about it. What are you saying black power for if when your babies come up, they ain't got no black power? Because it ain't really about us. It's about the babies. It's about them. So if we can't pass no land down to them, we can't pass the education down to them, if we can't pass the traditions down to them, what are we doing this for? What are you going to church for every week? You can't pass them down to them, or to the mosque every week. You can't pass them down to them. What's the purpose? Think about it. Everything we do got to have a purpose. God made nothing without a purpose. You cannot just live your life every day going frivolously to work, going to school, coming back home, going to the grocery, watch a little TV, take a little bath, lay down, get up, read a book, do it all again tomorrow. Hell no. That ain't no way for us to live, and we are in this kind of condition. We have to get some of this good earth to call our own for real in this generation. Malcolm X say, in this time, in this earth, on this day, by any means necessary. Not one day in the sky. I want to break that up right now and here. Not someday up in the sweet by and by in a land of milk and honey. Ain't what we talking about. We're talking about a promised land. That whatever you do, if there's something up there for you, it's going to be based upon what you're doing right here on this planet. They told us as slaves, you work right now for me, and when you die, you get your reward up in heaven. Does that work out for you? If you work for me on a job and I say, well, I'll give you your paycheck when you get to heaven, would you work for me again? But that's what America has said to us. You will get your reward somewhere else, black man and black woman. You don't deserve a reward. You don't get a reward right here. So everything that we do, in my conclusion here, everything that we do is upholding the system, upholding that which is duping us in the first place. That's what I'm getting at. The way, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expect a different result, you call it insane. But the community doing the same thing again. Somebody dies tonight in Louisville, what they gonna do? Have a candlelight visual. They do it where y'all from? Candlelight visual. Let's light us some candles. Oh Lord, it's so sad. The little Snooky got shot down. We really pray for your help and we want you to do something for us. Not knowing God is in them all the time. God is in you. The Bible and Quran talk about that. God is with you all the time. Closer than your jugular vein, the books say. So if God is in you, that means you can do some work yourself. You can get busy yourself. You gotta sit around and wait on no mystery God to do nothing for you. God is real in you. See, that's the kind of message the community got to know him for real. Preachers are placating them because they're trying to get paid. Christianity and even some branches of Islam have become big business, trying to get paid. Okay? I told a preacher yesterday on the phone. I ain't gonna say his name, but I said there's a church on every corner, pastor. Church on every corner, preacher. So that means, as a military man, you all have the most strategic locations of anybody, any of us. There's not a new Black Panther chapter on every corner. Ain't even a mosque seat on every corner. There's a church on every corner. That means that when there's dope being sold right here, a few yards down the way, there's some churches. So how come the preachers are not more involved? How come the preachers are not there taking charge of the post and taking charge of the community? It's because some are pumped out, some are afraid, some are scared, and some just want to get paid. Okay? Why don't you see more organizations involved and out in the streets? Because some are pumped out, some are afraid, and most just want to get paid. Well, I would come out to the vigil, I would come out to the meeting, I would come out to the protest, I would come out to this and that, long as you pay me. You know, I would join the new Black Panther Party, but what you gonna pay me? No sir, brothers and sisters. Your payment is in us saving our lives. Understand that. Your reward is with God. Okay? Where's the reward with? With God. Alright? So the more good you put out here into the world, what? The more good you get back. That's real. The more evil you put out here, the more evil will come back to you. What we're trying to do is get enough brothers and sisters together that want to put some good out here. Everybody can't sit around and just say, well, what are we going to do? Somebody else died, what are we going to do? But John, that's one thing they do to me all the time. Somebody gets shot at the community and say, what you going to do? I say, what you going to do? You know what I mean? Why are you going to put all of it on me? Like I'm the reason why all this is happening. You know what I'm saying? We all in this thing together. And all of us going out here into the community, it can happen to me just like it happened to you. We can get robbed, shot, killed, anything. You know what I mean? And worst of all, the worst thing is for us to be dead up here. The worst thing in the world is for us to be dead in the mind and really believe we're alive. We got a whole community of people who believe that they are alive every Friday night, but they're really dead. Do the same thing. Wear the same outfit you wear to the club, to the church. I mean, a black woman that feel like she intelligent. I mean, a real, black woman that feel like she, and brothers do it too. Yeah. Feel like you intelligent. Same thing that you dress down with to get your boogie on, you show up Sunday morning with saying hallelujah. That's dead as hell. That is dead. That's dead. We've been taught that. Again, we've been taught that. So what am I saying? We have to undo all of this. Okay, if you're going to be involved in this work, you're going to be sincere and serious about working with our people, we got to undo all this stuff. So, you know, it's easy, and I go through it. We go through it. It's easy to get discouraged because you say, man, them niggas ain't going to change. They ain't talking about nothing. I'm just going to do what I do. Why should I care about them? I say because somebody cared about you. Somebody helped all of us along. Somebody did. Whether it was your mama, your father, whether it was an organization, whether it was God himself, cared about you enough to change your mind and put you on a course to do something different. Because we were them same dead people we're talking about in the club right now. The same dead people that's shooting up the entire neighborhood, that was us. All of us in here got a story to tell. All of us. All of us have a story to tell in here. None of us was just like we see us today. We wasn't all locked down talking about Black Power, Happy Kwanzaa, Abar Ghani, you know, Salaam Alaikum, Hotep. We wasn't saying all that at one time in our lives. We were changed. And if we can be changed, other people can be changed. That's the message. If we can be changed, other people can be changed. We just got to duplicate ourselves. Got to spend some time with ourselves. We used to have a saying, Brother Mahdi knows this, and when you come out of the teach the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that your brother or your sister is your other self. When you look at your brother, you're looking at yourself. If you look at your sister, you're looking at yourself. So if I'm looking at my brother or my sister, I ain't gonna kill myself. Right? If I love myself, I ain't gonna kill me. That's me. But we can kill each other because we don't love ourselves. We talk bad about each other because we don't love ourselves. All right? We have been disconnected to it with who we are. So instead of us loving ourselves, we hate ourselves. That's why we were taught to hate the thickness of our nose. Some people in 2012, right now, going into 2013, you look at your nose and say, God, why did you give me this nose? My Lord, God, why did you give me these thick lips? God, why did you make me so dark? I mean, I'm saying these are real conversations people are having. Why am I so dark? Why my hair so kinky? Lord have mercy, I just gotta go buy me a temporary permanent and straighten out my own head. I ain't stepping on no toes. I'm just saying. A temporary permanent. Y'all hear me out? A temporary permanent. Oxymoron. They're supposed to straighten your hair out and make it be straight. And they say, well, why are you getting it? Because I don't want to deal with them kinks. But your hair is naturally kinky. So if your hair is naturally kinky, that means that's the way God wanted your hair to be. Don't be mad at me, sister, because brothers do it too now. Brothers sit aside, just bought. She said, I bought mine. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, and you get them people that be like, well, you know, I got Indian in my family. You know, I got Alaskan in my family. I got Mexican in my family. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever hear them say, I got African in mine. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that be like, I got African in my family. Well, that's because you know better. But before you knew better, you probably was like, you got some stuff in your family. You know what I'm saying? We all been there. What I'm saying is, our minds have been changed. That's my point. Now we're learning to love ourselves. Now we don't mind being locked up. We don't mind saying Black Power. We don't mind doing that which is necessary to get back to our original self, because we can see the game. We can see that we've been taught to hate ourselves. And our self-hatred is causing us to lose our community. Okay? Because if you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna take care of your babies. I'm driving down Louisville streets and I'm seeing little babies out in the streets by themselves. Ain't no mama around, no daddy around, no uncle around. They just out by themselves. 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. Little 6-year-old babies walking around by themselves. What kind of parent is that? That you don't know where your baby is at 11 o'clock at night. They run around with all kind of killers, rapists, and all kind of stuff, and you don't even care. See? And this is the last point. this drug epidemic, these drugs, hard drugs that are in our community, is something that we all gonna have to face because it's in all of our families. It's an I got uncles, man, so cracked out they couldn't tell you their damn names. All right, for real. Heroin addicts and even alcoholism. Alcoholism is a drug, for real. But again, it goes back to what we're influenced by. We're hearing the music all day. The music telling us all day, I got to get a fifth of Henny, I got to drink, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? And so when you ride around listening to it all day, guess what? Now your mind is like, I got to get me a big glass of Hennessy. I'm stressed out. Same thing with cigarettes. Cigarettes, the same deal. We family. If you're going through this, it's all good because we got to learn. I'm saying cigarettes say Surgeon General's warning on the side of it. Who the Surgeon General? The Surgeon General work for the government. Okay? Surgeon General warning. If you smoke this, you will die. That's what it says in layman's terms. If you smoke this, it will mess up your internal organs. If you smoke this, you will cause cancer, lung cancer, emphysema, and everything else. But then guess what they do after the warning? They put in nicotine in it. Y'all know what nicotine is? Nicotine is an additive that makes you crave a cigarette. Because if it was just a cigarette by itself, you wouldn't want it. If you were just smoking tobacco and smoking paper, you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't go out to the forest and just light up some leaves and be like, I feel good now. It's the nicotine. That's why we say we're having a nicotine fit. The nicotine is something that the government put in the cigarette because they knew that it would draw us to the cigarette. Also in the cigarette is rat poison. Rat poison in the cigarette. Also in the cigarette is tar. Okay? Where did we get this culture from? We got it from an alien people. We got it from a people that ain't like us. For real. All these habits that we got. Even the murder and the death, white folks was doing that before us. The Wild Wild West happened right here in America. What's the Wild Wild West? I ain't talking about a movie with Will Smith. What is the Wild Wild West? The Wild Wild West was a time period where white folks were killing each other in the streets. As soon as they see each other, they pull out their pistol and bust on each other. Yeah, it sound familiar, right? It's like the black community, right? Remember this. Anything that we do, they've done it first in terms of negative. Because this is the culture that breeded us. All right? Who is Al Capone? Al Capone a gangster, right? Al Capone's a gangster, right? Well, who was killing up all kind of people in Chicago before? We were doing it in Chicago. Al Capone. White folks was doing it in Chicago, killing each other up, right where we was. Same thing in New York, same thing in California. The culture of America is death. And after being under that culture for so long, we learned it ourselves. We're not natural criminals. We're not natural gangsters. We're not even at all savages. We're righteous men and women by nature. Our nature is to be peaceful. That's our nature. Our nature is to be peaceful. But we're in a condition. We have become criminals by a condition. By circumstance. Okay, y'all follow me? Our circumstances have forced many of us to become criminals, dope dealers, prostitutes, and all kind of other things. But by nature, our nature is to submit to God and be peaceful. Y'all follow me? That's our nature. So guess when you have the most happiness? When you're doing what's right. If you do what's right and I do what's right, ain't got nothing to worry about. If you just be good to people, ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't gotta watch your back all the time wondering somebody gonna do if you're just doing good. Because God got your back. Ancestors got your back. The universe got your back when you're doing right. But we're not being blessed because we're doing that which is wrong and we're taking on other people's culture. Give them their culture back. Get alcohol back to them. Get a pork back to them. Get a cigarette back to them. Get the mentality back to them. Give them back their names. Learn the original language. Y'all follow me? Get our culture back. Get it back and worship your original God. Take that blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus off of your wall tonight if he's on your wall. Take him down. Stop on the picture and say, to hell with you, Satan, get thee behind me. Because the book say he had hair like lamb's wool, like we were talking about. Jesus didn't have no process. Jesus didn't have no temporary permanent. Jesus had hair like lamb's wool. Say, feet the color of brass that had been burned in the oven. And he was a servant of God. He said, when you see me, you're looking at the Father. In the book, I mean, hey, you the original people then. If we the sons and daughters of God, I ain't saying nothing wrong, I'm saying it right. I got to bust it up in our heads, statue him over the wall. Grandma used to fight me over the white Jesus. Grandma say, boy, you better not touch that white Jesus. But I'm older now. And I might not can control grandma's house, but I can darn sure control my house. All right? And so black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. What does that mean? That means to define, develop, and defend what's in the best interest of the black community. The 3 Ds. Define, develop, and defend what's in our best interest. We call it black power. We're talking about black economic power. We're talking about black political power. We're talking about black social power. We're talking about black parenting power. We're talking about black legal power. We're talking about black power. What is power? Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. What is it? They say, oh shoot, I didn't know he was going to ask me. Power is the ability to define phenomena. That means define something and make it act in a desired manner. Okay, that means that you have the power to pick up this book and make it twist and turn. You can operate it. You know, you go to your car, you got power over the car. You can make it twist and turn, drive, U-turn, about face, park. You got power over it. We got power over the black community. Y'all follow me? We term that by saying that's black nationalism. That's what the overall philosophy is. Black nationalism, to have power over your resource, your politics, your economics, power over your life. We call it self-determination, or in the spirit of Kwanzaa, Kujichagulia. Okay? That's power. If you feel like you ain't got control over the community or control over your household, you ain't got no power. How many of us feel like we control the black community? Raise your hand. All right, 2 people. So that means all of it, the rest of us, like we ain't got no power. So how we gonna get some power then? Because you gotta understand now. Again, we're talking about forces in place that are there to incarcerate you, keep you enslaved, keep you deaf, dumb, and blind, and keep us dumb to knowledge of ourselves. How are we gonna get power over our community if all these forces are in place and the influence of the TV, the radio is happening 24 hours a day? How are we gonna do it? We got to close it off in our minds, close it off in our hearts, and we got to organize together. This group right here can organize together in 2012, going into 2013, and change all of West Louisville. All of West Louisville, East Louisville, Newburgh. All of it. If you can change the mentality. Remember we talked about us being changed? If we do the same thing for other people that was done for us, give good encouragement, teach a knowledge of self, teach a history, teach a culture, we can change it. It's going to take some work though. It's going to take some work. Don't think, it ain't never going to be handed to us. And Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and I'm done, we almost right at time to close. Marcus Mosiah Garvey had steamline ships. Brother Monty knows this. Brother here knows this. Brother knows this. Steamline ships. They had their own banks. Had his own art, had his own military, had his own nurses. They wasn't sending their people to go get treated and experimented on in the white man's hospital. They had their own stuff. So what happened from the time when Marcus Mosiah Garvey was here in the early 1900s and 20s and so on, that now we in 2012, we ain't got nothing. We ain't even got a Free People's Clinic in Louisville, Kentucky. The Arabs taking over everything in Louisville. The Arab man taking it and the Asian taking it. The Asian even selling us the hair weaves that we buy. I mean, if we're gonna put weaves in our hair, let's at least make our own weaves, sis. We can make our own weaves. Y'all feel me? Make our own jewelry. Even make our own clothes. We can sustain ourselves and we can empower ourselves. But we can't go to the people powerless talking about what they need to do. They selling dope in the community and we hate it. We hate it. But if I ain't got no real alternative for that black man or that black woman, I can give him a good word, but he ain't gonna really listen to me because I ain't got nothing that can replace that. You follow what I'm saying? But if we get into entrepreneurship, like my brother was talking about last week, business of our own, being in places where we can produce our own finance, our own money, and make what we need to make, then you can say, black man, put that damn dope down. Stop taking the penitentiary chance and come on with us. That's what the people want, for real. They're tired of people just talking and running off at the mouth and doing a whole bunch of speeches that ain't saying nothing. People can see that. They can see through the BS, man. They can see it. I told another brother, I said people who follow a man like Creflo Dollar, you're crazy as hell. Don't never follow no brother named Dollar. Don't do it. His name was Creflo Dollar. He tells you through the game. He said his teaching is called a prosperity gospel. Uh-oh. Somebody said, nah, yeah. Somebody might follow Creflo Dollar in here, I guess. But I'm just saying, you gotta look at stuff for what it is. Okay, you can't make it up in your head. If we're going to get out of this condition and position, it's going to take some workers. It's going to take some people that's willing to go to the community and offer some solutions. Go to people in power and tell them what's happening and put some real solutions down. That's the kind of man I am. That's the kind of people I hope you all are, for real. And ain't no turning around either. Ain't no compromise either. If you're going to go on the mission, if you're going forth with it, ride it till the wheels fall off. Don't punk out in 2012, going into 2013, because they're already talking about they're going to disarm the people. They're going to take your weapons away from you. You know, they're going to take your right to bear arms, take the rights away from you with the Constitution. It's all that stuff is coming. It's all, I mean, it ain't coming, it's here in America. Big fear, you know. They're trying to keep you afraid and keep you on your toes and scared all the time. And so with fear and mind control, then they're hitting you with drugs and alcohol and things that keep you addicted. Food is another drug. Got to get control of our stomachs, because that's another mental thing. I used to be a real stressful eater. Every time I got stressed out, I go get me some ice cream. I was an ice cream man. You know, I got mad. I'm like, man, I'm mad. I'm going to get some ice cream. But I had to get control of myself. Okay, that's a drug. Anything that you don't have control over to manage is a drug, and it's negative against yourself. Okay, so any questions, anything that I said? First of all, Black Power to y'all. Thank you all for listening. Beautiful.